Hi, I'm Mary Kopczynski, the CEO of Regalytics, with your update on this week's 6,153 regulatory alerts. The regulator of the week is California, and for those of you who don't know, California is easily one of the most prolific regulators in the entire world. This is a big week for hearings on the proposed bills at the State Assembly and State Senate there, including a bill that mandates diversity on state boards, a bill that allows financial services people to operate remotely, a bill that would force all California agencies to follow NIST standards, but even more fun, why not create more regulators while you're at it? So there is a proposal for a California Office of Clean Energy Workforce and the California Affordable Decarbonization Authority. The topic of the week is ESG, starting with alerts from 5 different states throwing in their views on the SEC ESG disclosure rule. I love it when I see our own customers in the feed, so shout out to CalSTRS for arguing for stricter ESG disclosure rules than what the SEC put out. The White House this week announced a partnership with 11 governors along the eastern coast to expand offshore wind supply, and up north in Canada, $4 million being invested in EV charging in Quebec, plus a call for proposals to get up to $300,000 each in funding for ideas that will help realize Canada's zero-emission vehicle awareness initiative. Across the pond, you may recall ESMA was asking a few months ago for info on ESG ratings. Well, they published what they learned, and it's quite interesting. Turns out there are a small set of large players in the US doing ESG ratings, and then a large amount of small to medium players in Europe. Then the FCA put out a handy-dandy database of climate risk data providers, tools, and products, and it released the results of its ESG sandbox efforts earlier this year. In terms of other topics, the economy. The Fed released big bank stress tests, and hey, our efforts worked. No one failed. And in furtherance of that good news, inflation aside, the Fed put out a study taking a look at 2 mortgage markets, one that is highly regulated and the other that is not. The one that is highly regulated fared better in the COVID market shocks. The FTC is pointing its eyes and ears toward the car buying process, which, as many of you know, sucks. So they're considering a rule designed to fight deceptive advertising, bait and switch tactics, and hidden add-on charges, all with a drive towards truth and transparency. I just love their headlines. The alert itself is called Proposed FTC Rule Looks Under the Hood at the Car Buying Process. The FTC is also looking at this whole right to repair business, including taking action against Harley-Davidson for having a monopoly on the parts and the people who can fix their motorcycles. This week also, Juul got their products banned from the US by the FDA, and Meta/Facebook also got in trouble for discrimination via their advertising algorithms because they targeted specific users to buy houses that was using information about people that is expressly disallowed by the FHA. Last but not least this week, New Jersey proposed 2 bills. One banned smoking in cars with children, the other banned smoking in cars with food. That's it this week for Regalytics. We have the most comprehensive, coherent, and customizable regulatory alerts tool in the world. Come and see how company after company is transforming their compliance with this kind of transparency. See you next Wednesday.